I once thought that love meant sacrifice. That if I stayed, waited, and smiled through tears, he would finally see me. My name was Ji Anran, daughter of a wealthy but declining family, engaged to Zhao Yichen, heir to the Zhao Corporation. The city praised our match, beauty and power, status and wealth, but it was all a lie. To him, I was just a pawn. A lavish engagement party. Crystal chandeliers, glittering gowns, champagne in every hand. I stood at the center, a flawless porcelain doll, dressed in white, a diamond the size of an eye on my finger. But he, Zhao Yichen, wasn't even by my side. He was in a corner whispering, with my cousin Ji Xinyue, her lipstick smeared, her dress wrinkled, and her eyes defiant. Cousin, she's still clinging? Pathetic. Yichen, you should have broken it off years ago. Zhao Yichen, coldly. Let her have tonight. After that, she's irrelevant. I overheard everything. Not by accident. I had started suspecting weeks ago. The missed calls. The business trips that weren't business. The scent of perfume that wasn't mine. So I followed him, and I heard what I was never meant to hear. Zhao Yichen and Ji Xinyue, undressed, laughing, toasting champagne, talking about my father's illness and my inheritance. I xin you, viciously. When her father dies, she'll have nothing. Then she'll do whatever you say. That pathetic girl still thinks you love her. Zhao Yichen laughing. She's useful, for now. I'll marry her. Take what I need, then divorce her. You'll be my real wife. 3 weeks later, my father died. The will was changed. Under pressure from Zhao Yichen, I was left with scraps. The Zhao family took everything under the name of merging assets. My mother, broken, went insane. Our family villa was sold, and I was cast out like trash. I stood alone, shivering in the rain. My engagement ring still on my finger, its sparkle mocking me. My cousin married Zhao Yichen in secret the next month. And me? A car accident. Brakes cut. No investigation. No justice. I remember the cold, the silence, and one final thought. If I could do it again, I would never love him. I would destroy him. When I opened my eyes again, I was back. My hands, young. My room, unchanged. My phone still had the message from Zhao Yichen asking to meet about our engagement. My heart pounded. This wasn't a dream. I had been reborn. Narrator. And this time, he would regret ever crossing me. The scent of peonies drifted through the open window. Soft birdsong filled the air. My childhood bedroom, untouched. It was real. I stared at the date on my phone, 2 years before my death. 1 day before Zhao Yichen's proposal. In this life, he wouldn't get the chance. Mother sat across from me, sipping tea. Her eyes still held warmth. The madness hadn't come yet. Mother, smiling. Anran, dress nicely today. The Zhao family is visiting. Yichen is coming. He's a fine man. Be gentle with him, I smiled. A slow, unreadable smile. J.I. Anran, calmly. I won't be marrying Zhao Yichen. Mother, choking on tea. What? J.I. Anran, he's not the man you think he is. Trust me, Mother. I won't let him near me again. Her brows furrowed, confusion blooming. But I didn't need her to understand. I needed her to be safe. In my past life, I played the obedient daughter. This time, I took control. I hired an independent lawyer, ensured my father's assets were split from the Zhao family's reach. I met quietly with my father's old allies, business contacts he'd trusted. And most of all, I prepared for war. Zhao Yichen walked in, tall, polished, confident. The man who had betrayed me in every possible way. Zhao Yichen, smiling, falsely charming, Anne ran, long time no see. Let's talk about the engagement. Our families, J.I. Enran, interrupting, ice cold. There will be no engagement, Zhao Yichen. Blinking. What? J.I. Enran. I don't want to marry you. I never will. You should leave. His expression darkened. Zhao Yichen. Are you joking? You begged for this engagement. Do you know what you're throwing away? I stood slowly. Jian ran, softly. Yes, a lifetime of regret, and I walked out. The news spread like wildfire. Jianran rejected Zhao Yichen. Zhao Corporation's engagement annulled. Ji family daughter turns down powerful heir. The media speculated. Zhao Yichen's image took a hit. And my cousin Ji Xinyue? Furious. Ji Xinyue, screaming into phone. She dumped him? What? Is she planning? Yichen, we need to do something. Zhao Yichen, grim. She'll come crawling back. Just wait. She always does. Oh, how wrong they were. In my past life, there was one man who had silently watched over me, a quiet figure in the background. Powerful, mysterious, unwavering. Li Shen, the son of my father's comrade, the one he had once tried to set me up with before Zhao Yichen intervened. This time, I found him first. Int, military base canteen, day. He sat alone, dressed in uniform, a quiet force of nature. Broad shoulders, calm eyes, scar faintly visible across one brow. G.I. Anren, approaching. Colonel Lee, I need your help. He looked up, his gaze steady. Lai Shen, you've changed. J.I. Anran, I've woken up. A pause. Lai Shen, what do you need? J.I. Anran, a fake engagement. I told him everything, except for the part about dying and being reborn. I spoke of family betrayal, manipulation, and the power the Zhao family had stolen. And then I gave him my proposal. J.I. Anran, firmly. Announce an engagement with me. Just a name, nothing else. It'll shake the Zhao family. They won't dare move. Eli Shen, and what do you gain? J.I. Anran, time, protection, independence, a chance to change my fate. He studied me. Then, after a long silence, Li Shen, all right, I accept. The very next day, every major media outlet exploded. Breaking. Ji Anran engaged to war hero Li Shen, son of former general and Ji family's old ally. Social media lost its mind. The Zhao family seethed, and I smiled. For the first time in 2 lifetimes, I was in control. The news spread faster than wildfire. Ji Anran engaged to Li Shen, military colonel and heir to the Li family legacy. It wasn't just a headline. It was a cannon blast to the face of the Zhao family. In T. Zhao Corporation boardroom, morning. Zhao Yichen slammed a newspaper onto the table. Ji Xinyu's face was pale. Zhao Yichen, growling. She dares use the Li family? That's treasonous. Zhao. Executive. Sir, the Li family has strong military connections, and the public loves the match. Pulling back now may damage us further. J.I. Xinyue, desperate. She's bluffing. It's fake. She's trying to provoke you. Zhao Yichen, cutting her off. She won't get away with it. Li Shen and I agreed on a staged engagement party. But to the world, it was real, intentional, unshakable. The air was crisp. Lights strung through the trees. Guests swarmed. Reporters flurried. Li Shen stood beside me, tall, unreadable, poised. In a dark tailored suit, reporter, eager. Miss Ji, is this true love? Everyone's stunned by the sudden announcement. J.I. Anran, smiling calmly. We've known each other since childhood. Our families always hoped for this union. Lai Shen, nodding once. And I intend to protect her, no matter the cost. That was all it took. The headlines were sealed. Everything Zhao Yichen once took from me, I was now pulling away from under his feet, without touching a single asset, just by stepping out of his reach. In Tizhao residence, night Jixin Yue. Shouting, "She's humiliating us. Do something, Zhao Yichen." Calm, darkly. "I will. I'll take back what's mine." He picked up his phone and dialed. I stepped outside after a brunch with a women's charity group, part of my image now. He was waiting by the valet, arms crossed. "Zhao Yichen. Anran, we need to talk." J.I. Anran, glancing at my phone. "I don't believe we do." He reached forward, but Li Shen's black SUV pulled up, right on time. The door opened. Li Shen stepped out. Li Shen, calm, deadly. She said no. Zhao Yichen's jaw clenched. Zhao Yichen, bitter. "She's lying to you. It's not love. It's revenge." Li Shen. "And yet, she's still mine. Walk away." Cornered people. Act recklessly, and Jixin Yue was a trapped snake in TG family home. Night a scandalous photo surfaced, edited, of course, me, in Li Shen's arms. Bedroom lighting, bare shoulders, social media lit up with Ji Anran seduced war hero. Real or fake love, the intent was obvious. In T. Lai Shen's study, Nighty, handed him the photo with an apologetic look. Jai Anran. "They're pushing back. Hard. This is the beginning." Li Shen, smirking. "I've had worse. Let them bark." He leaned closer. Lai Shen, quietly. "Unless you want to give them what they think they see." My heart skipped a beat, but I looked him in the eye. J.I. Anran, smiling. "Not yet." To shut down the noise, I called a press conference. Flashes burst. Reporters waited. I took the podium with Li Shen at my side. J.I. Anran, gracefully. "This engagement is not for show, and our personal life is not the business of bored opportunists." Reporter. "So you deny the rumors?" Lai Shen. "I don't answer to rumors. I answer to the woman beside me." A pause, then applause. The cracks were showing. Zhao Yichen, always calm, always dominant, was unraveling. He stood in the dark, watching the news. Me, radiant on the stage, the crowd cheering. He shattered his whiskey glass. Zhao Yichen, to himself. "This isn't over." Jixin Yu knew she couldn't win by force, so she turned to what she did best: poison, lies, manipulation, and she chose her battlefield well. My own mother. Mother looked pale, hands trembling slightly as she placed down her cup. "Mother." Anne ran. "I spoke to Xinyue today. She said, Li Shen, he's dangerous, that he's only using you." I crouched down, taking her hands in mine. J.I. Anne ran, softly. "Mother, she's trying to divide us. Don't let her." Mother, confused. "But she said," Zhao Yichen cried, "said you were stolen from him." I laughed, bitter, broken. Zhao Yichen wasn't just grieving, he was planning. He bribed reporters, fed them rumors, sent false tip-offs to the military, and most dangerously of all, he reopened old investigations into Li Shen's family legacy. A hidden investigator handed him a file. Investigator. These are from the Li family's past missions. Classified, but accessible, for the right price. Zhao Yichen. If I can't break him with truth, I'll do it with scandal. He smiled. A cruel one. Jai. Anran. Mother, the man you trust destroyed me in another life. I won't let him. Do it again. 2 days later, tabloids burst with stories. Li Shen's father involved in military corruption, Ji Anran's fiancé under investigation, romance or cover-up. I read every line without blinking. This was the war I'd expected. Li Shen closed the laptop and looked at me. Li Shen, I can crush this within 48 hours, but it'll expose things. About my father. Things he took to the grave. Jin ran, softly. Then, don't. Let me fix it my way. He looked surprised. Li Shen, you trust me with your name, but not with your fight? Jin ran, smiling sadly. I'm not just protecting myself. I'm protecting us. I needed Ji Xinyu to act without caution, so I gave her what she wanted. A rumor, one only she would believe. My voice was deliberately loud, meant for the eavesdropper 2 seats behind. Jin ran, to friend. Li Shen's transferring our joint. Accounts to a new vault tomorrow. So paranoid, but it's sweet. Later that night, a break-in attempt. But the vault was empty, except for one thing. A hidden camera. When the news aired, Ji Xinyu's face was blurred. But her voice was clear. Just, take the money! She's not worth a dime. That man will leave her anyway. Social media went up in flames. Ji Xinyue was suspended from the Zhao Corporation. Zhao Yichen denied involvement, but the people doubted him now. Ji Xinyue sobbed into her scarf as cameras chased her. Zhao Yichen didn't show. I watched from a distance, unseen, unforgiving. Li Shen and I sat on a bench, watching kids play nearby. He turned to me. Li Shen, you've become the storm I once feared. I smiled faintly. Jai, An Ran, and you've been my shelter. He reached into his coat, pulled out a small box. Li Shen. An Ran. This started as a game, a shield, but it's not anymore. He opened the box, a simple diamond ring. Li Shen, softly. Will you marry me? For real this time. As I whispered yes, someone else was watching. Ji Xinyue dot one last card left. One final weapon. Zhao Yichen himself, and she intended to unleash him. Jai Xinyu, low voice. She made you weak, but I can give you proof, real proof, that she used you both. She handed him a flash drive. He plugged it in, watched, paused, stared, then stood. Zhao Yichen. Then I'll end it myself. Narrator. Low, haunting. The last time Zhao Yichen lured me to an empty estate, I was naive, hopeful, still, in love this time. I walked in with a wire under my dress, and Li Shen waiting outside with his team. The chandeliers were lit, but the room was cold. Zhao Yichen stood by the fireplace, a glass of wine in hand, like old times. Zhao Yichen, you came, I thought. You'd finally lost your courage. Jin Ran, steady. You're more predictable than you think, Yichen. Zhao Yichen, and yet you always come to me in the end. Jin Ran, no, I came to end you. He played the footage Ji Xinyue gave. Him, me, handing an envelope to a man in uniform. Money, whispered words. Only it wasn't me. It was a hired double. And the man? An actor I paid, Jin Ran, coolly. You watched it, believed it, and didn't even question. That's who you are. Zhao Yichen, angry. You used me. Jin Ran. No. You discarded me the moment I became inconvenient. You don't get to, rewrite that. He lunged, but the doors burst open. Li Shen's team swarmed in. Li Shen, to his men. Take him, Zhao Yichen, furious. You think you've won? You think this charade means anything? Jian Ren, coldly. No, but my peace of mind means everything. The investigation reopened. Zhao Yichen's illegal surveillance. Ji Xinyu's embezzlement. They'd covered each other's sins for years. Now, they would fall together. Flashbulbs, reporters, screams from Ji Xinyue's lawyer. Prosecutor, multiple counts of fraud, falsified documents, and attempted extortion. Judge. Bail. Denied. Jai Jinyue, shrieking. You'll regret this, Anran. I made you. J.I. Anran, calm. No, you buried me. I dug myself out. The scandal rocked the city, but the Lee name stood stronger than ever. And I was no longer just Ji Anran. I was a woman reborn. I walked hand in hand with Li Shen through the gardens, a sense of peace. Real, untainted peace. Li Shen, teasing. Now that your revenge arc is over, will you marry me again? J.I. Anran, smiling. As many times as it takes to make this life right. He kissed my knuckles, slow and sincere. In my first life, I died believing love was something to earn. In this one, I lived knowing it was something to be shared. I watched Zhao Yichen and Ji Xinyue walk away, uncaring, untouched, and I whispered, Young Ji Anran, if I could do it over, I wouldn't love you again. Petals rained from the sky. My dress shimmered like silver moonlight. Li Shen stood at the altar, heart in his eyes. And this time, no regrets, no debts, no unfinished wounds. Only vows. Li Shen. I once thought duty was everything, until I met the girl who made me believe in forever. J.I. Anran. I once believed silence was survival, until I met the man who taught me to roar. We kissed to the cheers of 100 guests, but my heart only heard one name. Mine, and I was finally proud of it. They told me I should beg for love, that I'd never be more than someone's second choice. But Rebirth taught me this. Dignity is the greatest form of revenge, and love, the most unstoppable rebellion. This time, I chose me first. Just when I believed my story had found its ending, a shadow stirred in the corner of our joy. We were on our honeymoon, barefoot on the sand, laughter in the air. Li Shen's hand gripped mine warmly as we watched the tide, until a phone call cut through the silence. Li Shen, frowning. Base reported, a strange inquiry. Someone accessing my father's old sealed records. J.I. Anran, quietly. They're not done with us yet. I noticed him on the third day. A man in white, always at the edge of the property, always watching. He brushed past. Me deliberately stranger, low voice. Your father never died by accident, Ji Anran. I froze. J.I. Anran. What did you say? He disappeared into the crowd before I could follow. My father, a hero, a man who died with medals on his chest, or so I'd believed. What if his death had been orchestrated? What if Zhao Yichen's family wasn't the only enemy I had? Li Shen unrolled old mission logs, classified pages hidden in a false compartment of his father's desk. Li Shen. Your father once exposed a military arms laundering ring. He died weeks after submitting the file. Anran whispers. He died because he was good, because he stood for something. Tears fell. But they were tears of fire, of vengeance, reawakened. There was someone else. Someone who had profited from that death. Someone who had waited like a snake for us to lower our guard. The man in white turned, his face revealed. Li. Shen, cold. General Cao's son. I thought you'd vanished after your father's trial. Cao Ming, smirking. I vanished into power, quietly, unlike you, who made your return so public. J.I. Anran, fierce. You had my father killed. Cao. Bing, darkly amused. No, the system did. I just ensured the paperwork lined up. He wanted a trade. Silence, for evidence. Or war. We gave him neither. We gave him bait. We let him believe we were scared, that I'd trade my father's letters for peace. But we had wired the room. We had military eyes watching every moment, Cao. Eming, arrogant. If you hand over the originals, I'll vanish again. If not, let's just say Li Shen's metals might start to rust. He leaned closer to me. Xiao Ming, you're beautiful. A shame you married a dead man walking. Li Shen. From behind, calmly. I'm not dead, but you might be. Cao Ming spun. Too late. The arrest sent shockwaves through the upper ranks. The files I leaked anonymously brought down 5 officers and buried an entire generation of corruption. My father's name, restored, revered, his enemies, erased. A photograph of my father stood on the podium, a medal pinned to the frame by the president himself. Announcer. In memory of Commander Ji Hongwei, who gave everything, even his silence. I laid a rose beneath it. Jai Anran, whispering, You raised a fighter, father. I hope I made you proud. 3 years later, we stood again in a garden, but this time I wasn't in a wedding gown, I was barefoot, laughing, and a little girl ran toward me, shrieking with glee. Little girl, giggling. Mommy, Daddy's teaching me how to salute. J.I. Anran. Is he now? Lai Shen, coming over. She insists on being Commander Anran Jr. I kissed her forehead. Jai Anran, smiling. She'll grow up knowing her name matters. In one life, I was broken by love. In another, I was built by memory. But in this one, I reclaimed my name. I reclaimed my father's honor. And I became the kind of woman I once thought only lived in dreams. Reborn doesn't mean starting over. It means rewriting your ending, with fire, with grace, and without apology. 3 years had passed since I took back my name. 3 years since I buried the girl I used to be, and embraced the woman my father would have saluted. Li Shen stood beside me, our daughter cradled in his arms. Reporters murmured. Soldiers snapped. Photos, but I didn't care, because this time they weren't whispering rumors, they were honoring our legacy. Commander Lai, approaching, Anran, your father would be proud. He handed me a sealed folder. Commander Lai, declassified files, about his last operation. They're yours now. J.I. Anran, accepting it, quietly. Thank you. I'll protect them like he protected this country. Not all ghosts fade when justice is served. Some linger, watching, waiting for weakness. Zhao Yichen's name flickered across a legal notice. J.I. Anran. Who allowed his name on a patent? Li Shen, checking files. A dummy core. Someone's resurrecting his legacy through backdoors. J.I. Anran, fierce. Then let's shut every one of them. Files were traced. Funds followed through shell companies. Whispers of revenge from an ally I once trusted. Ji Xinyue had left behind a legacy too, one filled with venom. I could have destroyed them all, used every secret I'd gathered to ruin their children, their homes, their futures. But vengeance had its price, and I'd already paid in full. I burned the last of Ji Xinyue's letters, let her bitterness dissolve into ash, because letting go was also power. J.I. Anran. I won't teach my daughter that revenge is the answer. I'll teach her to build so high, her enemies fall trying to reach her. Then came the letter. No return address, no signature. Just 6 words. You chose well. I'm proud of you. It was in my father's handwriting, a copy he must have left, hidden in a bank's private vault, only released after the declassification. Cried for the first time in years. Li Shen joined me, wrapping me in his arms. Jai Anran. He prepared everything. Even after death, he never stopped protecting me. Lai Shen, soft. Neither will I. The press once called me a scandalous bride, a rejected woman clinging to pride. Now, they called me Ji Anran, daughter of honor, mother of legacy. CEO of Flametech Industries. The irony? I didn't care anymore. I walked through glass halls where my name was etched in gold. Young girls followed my speeches. Cadets read my articles. The world had changed, and so had I. At night, I tuck my daughter in bed. She always asks the same question. "Mama, what do you want me to be when I grow up?" Jai-An ran, smiling. "I want you to be brave, and kind, and smart enough to choose love that never dims your light. Little girl, like you and Daddy?" Jai-An ran, whispers, "No, better. I was born twice, once as a girl who loved the wrong man, again, as a woman who loved herself more." I kneeled before my father's grave with Li Shen beside me, and our daughter holding a bouquet. Jai-An ran. "They tried to bury me, Papa, but I became the tree that shaded others. My name is Jian Ran, and I am no man's possession, no pawn of legacy. I am the storm that rewrote history." Rebirth wasn't about second chances. It was about choosing better the second time around.